So you went to go see Rambo, Last Blood. I know that was a bad Sylvester Stallone interpretation there, but I had to see it mainly for all the headlines I've been hearing about how it's so controversial, it's a MAGA fantasy, make America great again, and how it's so extremely violent, xenophobic, racist, exploitative, crass, goes too fast, etc., how it dismantles the very name of the Rambo character simply for the sake of violence and politics. I've heard so much about this film, but I didn't even see any marketing towards it. I saw more marketing for Downtown Abbey and Ad Astra, Ready or Not, Here I Come, and upcoming Joker. Now, I know I keep talking about the Joker a lot in recent videos because of all the headlines I've been hearing about this particular film, but I want to talk a little bit about the Rambo movie I just saw. Having seen the originals, particularly 1 and 2, and then 4, the third one is meh at best. I don't really care much for that one. So having seen those, I came with already certain expectations. If you like gung-ho patriotism and militarism, you're definitely going to like it. If you're someone who's conservative, you're going to like it. If you're Sylvester Stallone, don't know, I think I'm better than that for one thing, you're going to like that whole thing too. No offense, Sly. I'm just doing it in your honor. You were great as a voice in ads. The first film I ever seen as a child with you in it. Then I would go ahead later in my life to go see the first Rocky movie. As I am! But getting back to the point, Rambo Last Blood is not so much a Rambo film as much as it is a mix of Taken. You know, they kidnap my daughter, they kidnap someone I love, and they try to take it away from me. So I'm going to go on a revenge mission and kill the bastards who are responsible. And it follows that sort of thread, which, you know, played up premise, but puts it with extreme violence. And Rambo. But in many ways, the film feels more like a weird, awesome mix, along with Taken, to Taxi Driver. Because Travis Bickle goes mad and insane and starts going on a vigilante rampage against the pimps that try to toy around with Jodie Foster's character. And we know how that ended out, with John Hinckley Jr. trying to assassinate Ronald Reagan. No matter what your politics are, that's pretty scary. That's pretty screwed up, right? This movie is. It definitely lives up to its 18 certificate for its strong bloody violence and gory images. Hearts being ripped out, heads blown off, decapitations, and a man's on his shoulder blade or collarbone being torn and ripped out on the inside. Very graphic and also cringeworthy. But not quite as cringeworthy as watching a man's face literally being pummeled over, or his teeth being ripped out. I think it was an Irréversible, which is a French film by Gaspar Noé. You know it's going to be fucked up. That had a single man's face is literally smashed with a fire extinguisher. It goes on for a very long time inside an S&M gay club, and then a 9-minute scene of extreme sexual violence. This isn't quite to that level, but it's very boundary pushing. And it's a lot more boundary pushing than other 18 films that have come out this year, like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Midsommar, or Ready or Not, Here I Come. It's more along the lines of Lords of Chaos type of carnage. Really nasty shit. I'll tell you that right now. We should cut your teeth. And in regards to the whole sort of political controversy surrounding the film, you know what you're kind of expecting. Personally, I thought the violence was almost so over the top and so laughable. I just felt guilty about laughing at how ridiculous and over the top it is. And Rambo 4 was no exception either. That movie was just bonkers in terms of extreme detail and gore. This isn't that far off, but slightly less incessant. I don't know, that's just me. Slightly less incessant. And certainly a lot more violent than, you know, the first and second films. They received the 15 one, you know, back in England. I think First Blood was like a double A. To the point they even made a subject about it in that film Son of Rambo, which came out some years ago. They felt that, you know, some kids, they wanted to see it, but they couldn't because you had to be 14 to go see a double A film. So, you know, found ways to sort of replicate or sneak into it, and then they would sort of replicate their own sort of Rambo story from there on. Finding an interesting thing is how it turns out. It's not worth the price of admission, though. If you're going to see it just for the sake of it, you're probably just better off waiting for like VOD, streaming, or just DVD and Blu-ray at a friend's place while you're having pizza and pints of carling, and that's about it. It's not going to change the world or anything, but, it's a little guilty pleasure and nice conversation starter, especially if you show this to a progressive, he's going to be really royally angry. Just like he will about this Joker film coming out. And a conservative, he's going to love it, but he's going to say, well, I didn't like him saying the F word. Well, fuck off! I like controversy, so that's why, I like some things to be quite nasty and... Oh, it went there, didn't it? Otherwise, I wouldn't have seen films like Kingsman with the Church Massacre or Human Centipede. First sequence. If I didn't hear about the headlines, shame. Blue's the warmest colour because of the NC-17s they received in the US. Sausage Party. I wouldn't have seen that if it wasn't for the headlines and the controversy surrounding the film's content or messages. This isn't far off. But it's not, no Oscar trophy winner, but it was, guilty pleasure. Even if it was a bit rushed and a bit exploitative. It definitely takes the whole, he's a wounded ex-Vietnam veteran and just makes it into like some sort of remake of Taken or Taxi Driver, for all we know. And now I've said it. I've said my piece about Rambo. Until then, keep on watching the film reviews, and I hope to hear from you soon. Remember, guys, I'm not a Trump supporter, but many of my fans are gonna love this film.